This video has been sponsored by one of my absolute fave software providers, GoProposal. If you're an accountant or bookkeeper with your own practice, you absolutely should be using GoProposal to price and quote your clients. GoProposal is the best quoting software that exists. Don't believe me? Click on the link in the description and give it a go for free. You won't look back. Join the GoProposal community and start earning the money you deserve. Back to the video. The age-old question about dividends. They used to be so much better for tax, didn't they? Who remembers pre-April 2016 when they were tax-free? Those were the good old days. Alas, they are now very much taxable. And even more so now. So let's dive into what, how, when, how much, and try to make some sense of them. Maybe you've heard the word dividends thrown around, but you don't entirely understand what it means. Don't worry, I am going to explain. Firstly, what even are dividends? They are basically a distribution of profits to the shareholders. Now remember, dividends can only be paid to shareholders. Sometimes there's confusion where directors take dividends. There's an assumption that if you're a director, then you can be paid them. Now, if you're also a shareholder, then sure, you absolutely can. But being a director alone does not allow you to take dividends. So we're clear, it's a way of shareholders extracting profit. They are not an expense like salary, so you cannot count dividends as business costs when you work out your corporation tax. Another important point to note is your company must not pay out more in dividends than is available as profits from current and previous financial years. Otherwise, they are illegal dividends and you will get in loads of trouble. And no one wants that. So now we know what they are, let's look at how you take them. They are declared at a meeting of the directors and they are documented, usually by way of what we call a dividend voucher. They need to be taken according to the shares that are held. For example, if all the shareholders own the same class of share, maybe ordinary shares for example, then they would all have to take the same proportion of dividend in relation to the number of shares that they have. So if two directors have 50 ordinary shares each, they would each have to take the exact same dividend. But if you have different classes of shares and the articles allow for it, then you can declare different levels of dividends in relation to those shares. Let's now move on to the tax stuff. This is the interesting bit. As mentioned, pre-April 2016, they were tax-free. Then they moved to only £5,000 being tax-free per shareholder until April 2018, when only £2,000 is tax-free. And this is how it's been ever since. This tax-free amount is called the dividend allowance. Each shareholder can receive total dividends of £2,000 per tax year, tax-free. This is irrespective of other income. For the 21-22 tax year, dividends have been taxed either at 7.5% if you earn under the basic rate band plus the personal allowance, which is £50,270, or 32.5% between this amount and £150,000. Now, if you're lucky enough to earn over £150,000, then you will have paid 38.1% on those dividends. From April 2022, the basic rate band plus the personal allowance has remained the same. However, the dividend tax rates have increased. They have increased to 8.75%, 33.75% and 39.35% respectively. Let's look at an example. If you take £50,000 out of your limited company this tax year, you should take £12,570 in salary and the rest in dividends, which is £37,700. You should set aside £3,123.75 for your income tax. If you take £100,000 from your limited company this tax year, again you should take £12,570 in salary and the rest in dividends, which is £87,430. You should set aside £19,907.63 for your income tax. It sounds like a lot. Well, basically, it is a lot. The best thing you can do is get a good accountant who can advise you of the best way to extract money from your limited company.
Do you know me?
Rude. Speak to Smooth Accounting and let us handle everything for you. We will make sure you pay the least amount of tax possible. I hope this video has been helpful. As always, any questions, pop them below and I'll do my best to answer them.